there. I'm Kathy Marr, one of the artists here at the Southampton Art Festival today, and just want to talk about my art. So I'm an oil painter, and I paint, actually now I'm painting urban landscapes. You can see, these are all oil paints. And people ask me why do I paint them, or what inspires me, or how do I pick a particular location. And I'd say that, you know, there are places I've been around that impact me, that make me stop and, you know, take notice and say, you know, I have to paint that. I don't know what it is about it. They're very ordinary scenes, and they're not conventionally beautiful. And yet there's something very beautiful in their ordinary subject. So I seem to be around that right now with the crosswalks and the markings and the street signs and the traffic, and you know, I think I pick subject matter that's very familiar, that we all know from our entire lives, being, you know, around these places or similar places, and they're not specific. I have people, when I was in Philadelphia last week, tell me that this is Philadelphia, or this place is in, you know, the Midwest. And everything, there's something about them that connects to people. I think it's the familiarity, like I know that place. And so I kind of paint a scene that connects with me, and yet I want the viewer to have their own experience. I don't have a narrative. I'm like, here it is. What is it to you? And I talk to people a lot because I'm always interested in how it relates to them. I also paint some still life. You could see the beautiful colors, very simple designs. And over here, again, back to very ordinary things. This is a garbage bin in the back of a building, but it's a study of the, you know, the beautiful movement of light across a scene. Like, these are scenes that we see all the time in the subway that I ride, and I think people connect with that. It's like their place, and it can be beautiful even if it's ordinary, and so I kind of like that.
Hi, yeah. I'm here in Southampton in Agron Park. My name is Charlotte Wallerbank. I actually come from the North Fork. I was born deaf, by the way, and I'm wearing a cochlear implant, so I'm able to hear and speak better. And I've been an artist all my life, practically, and self-taught. Although I did go to college, I went to Pratt Institute in Columbia. And, they give you all kinds of exercises in the park, and they don't hold your hand or teach you how to paint. You're involved in college in a nice atmosphere with peers working together with great vibes and all that. So I give them credit for that. So I work a lot in photorealism for a while, but then at times I feel like swinging like a pendulum into maybe something more imaginative or more feeling. So you'll see a few things in here. Like if you walk around the booth, like over here, let's look over here. I paint a lot of ocean waves, and in this one I decided to make a little geometry with it, you know, some fun. And in this one, I call this one Jackpot. So we have other 7 like in a slot machine. And I did this because I was painting cherries so often that it was in great demand that I wanted to do some leap, or whatever you call it, like a break from reality. So that's what we sell it. And for 40 years I've been selling a lot of still lives and flowers and more recently ocean wave, marine life. And over here we have seashells, stuff like this. These are doing really well out here in the Hampton and in Florida, Miami Beach. I have some more up here. And this was a commission that I did for someone. I kept a copy of it. the customer has the original, and that way I don't miss my work. I'll have a copy myself. And, so this is done with an airbrush, so it's very soft, and done with a stencil. It took me a long time to do. I did it during the 1980s. This is very popular in the reception area for dental offices. So I guess that you're in business. And more candy here. You'll find me in Dan papers once in a while. I've done like 15 covers over the past 30 years. And recently I did one on this one with the ocean wave on the cover. Like this one here. This was about a month ago. So that depending on how it's still in the gallery in Sandport where I live. And it's been a beautiful day, and I hope some of you come by and look up wildbank.com and you'll find my website.
How you doing? My name's Bruce Reinfeld. I'm from Philadelphia. My work is lenticular mixed media. It's all it's based on your viewing angle. The piece moves as you move. It's all of them. But as you kind of move through here, you can see a lot of the pieces move and change. I work with a lot of 3D depth, which unfortunately you can't see on video. But you could see the movement and stuff like that in a lot of my pieces. I'm one of the few people in the world that work with this stuff at this scale. Anything that's comes to my head that I could get into the final form is kind of where gets me, not talking to anyone for weeks and stuff like that. You know how it works, because I just love, the end result if it comes out. So that's, for me, it keeps me striving for something better. It keeps my excitement level. Maybe a lot of artists are, a little different, but it keeps me sane. That's basically it.
My name is Ron Richard. I am the artist for this work, but the work is signed as Natty because my art name is Natty Dread, and they call me Natty Dread, the artist. And the work is surrealistic in approach, and how I develop my work is, and if you look at the names at the work, galactic, cosmic. I truly believe that there is energy beyond us, but if we know how to tap into that energy, revelation comes, and that's what you will see in my work. That a lot of faces, but those are the past. Those are those that were here, and if you look at the images would give you the impression, like the one over here. That's is multimedia in terms of it. I use drywall compound and gauze to build it out, but the figure came on its own, because what I do is I wet the canvas, and after I have wet the canvas, I put the paint on the canvas, and then revelation is what is there, and I spiritually tap into it. And as I paint, as you see right here, if you don't mind, if you see right here, look at the mouth here. And then this is like the cosmic, that's the thinking channel. And look at right here, the lip, the eye. Then it moves on that it even gives like a feel of being underwater, you know, fish, you know, that feel. But we all are part of that. And what I also use is I'll show you over here. Again, you see like the fish, the lips, but now this is that native, the indigenous part, and right here. And that even comes here. This is one of the last ones that I did. And this particular one right here, you want to know how did the Egyptians, and you go down to the Andes, who was it that they were in connection with, that they were able to do things that we can't even do today? That's because whoever they were in contact and connection with, that's who it was. And here you can see with the again the face, the movement, and here that's the oceans, you know, you know, and that's because we're beyond that. And even with the butterfly, you would really have to study it. There's faces in there. There's all kind of things going on that is his own energy. You see, right, even here. I did this one right here. After that, these a month later, and this is 222, and this right here is 422. And like I said, a couple of months later. But these had nothing to do with that. And I was, this was in the back of my gallery where I work, my studio. And I was working on this, and I kept looking at this, and I look at that, I look at this, I look at that. I said, wow, I didn't plan that. But yet, and this is just a little of it, small portions of it. Have you heard of the artist, keyboard artist, Brian Culberson? Brian Culberson inspired me with his music. I thought he was a punk rock artist. I was on a smooth jazz cruise, and here this white boy come with his blonde hair sticking all over the place, and he's playing the keyboard. Got all brothers playing with him, and he's playing the keyboard. I mean, jamming. I'm just super amazed. He's playing with one hand. He steps around the keyboard, steady playing. He puts that hand behind him, and he's playing behind his back. Oh my gosh. Inspired me that I did a painting of him. And this January, I was on the Smooth Jazz Cruise, and he was there. And he's very friendly. Went up to him, and Brian, I'm going to show you something. And I showed him a picture of a painting. He said, wow. He said, this is yours? I said, yes. He recently played in Patchogue at the Patchogue Theater. I took him a print of the painting, and he set it over the stage. He says, Ron, I know you're in here. He said, I got the print. So, you know, this, if I'm just sharing with you, this has more than just paint on canvas. There's energy.
My name is Barbie Van Kassel Carden, and my work is oil painting, is what I love to do. And I think probably the distinction of my work is that I work on vintage, recycled and upcycled canvas. And so the reason I do that is I grew up around a lot of antiques, and so I had this orientation to things that were old and had a soul. And so when I started painting, I started looking at all of these canvases that had been discarded, and they didn't have very good paintings on them. And I would take them, and I just felt like this passing of the soul from one artist to another artist, thinking I can repurpose this and create a new modern art form on this canvas that people could enjoy, and combining two spirits of two artists. So anyway, what I've done is over the years I've collected very, very old canvases of linen and of cotton, and they're very hard to find now. So I'll give you an example. This will be an example here. So this would be a painting that this canvas is super old, probably from like the 50s. And you can see that, long ago and far away, some woman or man took this linen cotton and they stretched it by hand and they nailed it in and they painted something. And whatever it was didn't stand the test of time in terms of the image or the quality. And so when I discovered the bones of it, I then resurface it, and I do a whole bunch of different things from a process standpoint to do that. Once in a while, I will use a teeny weeny element that was still in the painting if I think it commands it. But for the most part, I don't. And then I put my own colors, and whatever comes out of the canvas is what I paint. And so that's why with my work, people will come up and they'll say, all of your work is so different. It's not like you just do flowers or plants or something. And it's because whatever the canvas kind of called to me to do, that's what I do. So this would be an example of, one that it just felt right that these colors came out and would, do this. Or this woman, she just came out. Or this guy, which this canvas is probably from the really early 50s. It's very, very old. And so that's what I do. And then the other thing I do is I do these oil paintings, and then I turn them into what I call family graffiti paintings. So for example, this painting here is an oil painting, and that's got all these family members' names, including their dog. And so then people hang them, over their kitchen table or their family room, and all their kids can look at it and go, oh, that's so cool, there's my name, there's my dog, there's my mommy, there's my father. And then over time, they kind of go from maybe the dining room table or the kitchen table down to the kids' room. But then when the kids come back from college, they can go, I remember that was... So anyway, that's a really big hit. So I do a lot of custom work on that regard. And I have a studio in Boston and Southampton, and that's basically it. Yeah.